Uh-oh. Sounds like the sound's not working correctly. Hmm. Oh, well, that would explain it. Mm, hold on. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. Sound don't work. Sorry, guys. I have to. Ugh. I know what's causing it, but I have to fix it. Okay. Well, anyways, we got some news today. We got CPI coming up in 10 minutes. And treasuries have been kind of moving overnight. Let's bring this up. So you can see here there was a big jump on the gap, up and back down. The only thing that I really saw news wise overnight was like more coronavirus stuff. I think it's so funny that the coronavirus trade will come out and then it like ends up not mattering and then it'll come out again. So with that said, we're kind of at some levels where there might be a little bit of pushback. They might try and hold it here, and if they can't hold these levels, then we could see a push down. Um, Meanwhile, the E-mini down a considerable amount. So that's where we're at. I don't see anything. Let's go back to CNBC again. Tesla shares fall after company announces 2 billion common stock offering. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oof. How much are they down by? Man. Oh man. That's going to hurt. That's going to hurt for you guys that are playing Tesla. Well, I tried to warn you. By the way, speaking of warnings, Bitcoin. Okay, so it's not showing me everything. There was a little bit of a move overnight. You don't see it as much in the futures as you do on the exchanges, but a push above 10K immediately met by resistance. We are very close to crash imminent levels in Bitcoin. If you caught any of this upside, you got lucky. I would recommend taking profits. I am not a financial advisor. I shouldn't say that. If it was me, I would be taking profits. That's what I should say. But anyways, the model says crash, close to crash imminent. So that's where we're at in Bitcoin. Anyways, so today we get the core inflation rate, CPI, looking for a reading of 2.2. That's the year over year. Month over month is what we really want. We are looking for a reading of spot 2. With the inflation rate. So the core at spot 2 and the non-core at spot 2. Continuing jobless claims, we're looking for 1745K. Is that right? You know what? The way that the numbers read here in the Jigsaw thing is a little bit different from what I'm used to on the Forex Factory page. And I'm wondering... See, they're saying unemployment claims 210. So the way that they do their reading... Oh, there we go. Initial jobless claims 210. That's what we really want. Okay. It's interesting to me, though, that the CPI numbers are both the same. Uzi says, good morning. Michael says, good morning. How are you guys? How are you guys? Let's turn on this. Feel all out of sorts. I'm doing okay, but like I'm a little tired because I haven't been able to have my what do we call it? My ulcerative colitis medication. So like there's a lot of inflammation in my system and it's making me feel tired. Making me feel tired. We've done a lot of volume today. Not even going to say big down move possible, but I am thinking it interesting that Delta is well off its low, but price is not. Tell you what, if that CPI number comes out and it's better than expected, which by the way is extremely unlikely. What if it did? It would this thing would get destroyed. I think that it would get destroyed. So there's that. Just reload this chart right here. See if that fixes that. There we go. There we go. Cool. Well. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just thinking about that CPI. And I'm just like, oh man. Like the chances of those numbers coming out and being higher than expected seems like just really unlikely. Not that like it can't happen. It's just that the last like 3 or 4 reports they've like disappointed. And but I cannot help but think about the setup and everything and be like, "Oh man. They could sell that so hard." You know what I mean? And it's just like sometimes it's like so tempting that it's like it has to happen almost. Man, tell you what, Bitcoin was like up through that whole thing. That move in Bitcoin is really like really sets my alarms off. Really sets my alarms off. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, well, I'm like babbling. I have a croissant here. I'm gonna like see if I can wharf down a croissant in 3 minutes. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Wait. All right, 30 seconds to go. They are drifting down into the news. Interesting. All right, here it comes. So the numbers are in line. Seeing inflation rate. Oh, no, wait. I actually didn't get it. It's not actually showing it to me yet. Hmm. Okay, here we go. Spot 1 versus a spot 2 on the inflation rate. Core is spot 2 versus spot 2. Year over year, 2.3 versus 2.2. And continuing our initial jobless claims, 205K versus 210K. So the jobless claims number is okay. Inflation actually is a little bit better than you would have expected, but not huge. Liquidity returning a little bit. We can see me now. Should bring that in. No, big iceberg at 26, and they're gonna move back up and retrace that move, I guess. Everything that I'm looking at does favor the downside. It's just that we're like, um, opening range low is all the way down at 20.5. I don't know if shorting through this area is necessarily the best move for me. Yeah, it's coming back. Got one more bite here. Wow. That was a lot that traded there at 27. And 27.5, really. There's a lot of volume going both ways here. I'm not sure what to think of that. We're going to have to sit here and watch a little bit and see if that turns out. Yeah, that is. Overall, I'd say that's pretty weird action. Yeah, that's a lot. That's really unusual. And that big old order at 26. Excuse me. Numbers are in line at spot 2, but you would really want to see a spot 3 at some point, you know? Something else interesting, if I could segue. It's not a segue. Now for something completely different. Donald Trump tweeting Mini Mike Bloomberg is a loser who has money but can't debate and has zero presence. You will see. He reminds me of a tiny version of Jeb Low Energy Bush. But Jeb has more political skill and has treated the black community much better than Mini Mike. Mini Mike is a 5'4" mass. He is not 5'4", is he? No. 5'4" mass of dead energy who does not want to be on the debate stage with these professional politicians. No boxes, please. He hates crazy Bernie and will, with enough money, possibly stop him. Bernie's people will go nuts. Why is Donald Trump tweeting about Mike Bloomberg? I think it must be because he knows him from New York and he hates him. It's no other because Mike Bloomberg stands almost zero chance of becoming the Democrat nominee. Well, I shouldn't say that. The predictive markets definitely disagree with me. Let's go and check them out. In fact, today, Bloomberg's chances are up 30%. 30%. Oh my, interesting. 7-day. Here's Sanders down a little bit. Bloomberg up from 20. Well, so he was at 20 cents earlier this week, and now they are predicting 30%. Meanwhile, Buttigieg, who actually has delegates, has been winning in races and is the leading. Well, Klobuchar should probably be up too. Yeah, okay. The predicted market really does not believe in Buttigieg, even though he's getting the votes. I just don't get it. I don't get it. But there is no way let's just ignore polling for a second. Like, maybe we can go back and look at polling and seeing if there's anything that, like, yeah. Wait. Oh, I can't hear it. Wait a second. It's playing the message, but we can't hear it because of the sound problems. Sound settings. Uzi says yes, he is. I have a friend who used to work for him. No, when I read it on, okay, hold on. The sound should be on my Focusrite. Why won't it go there? Do I have? Oh, I do. Oh. Okay.
Uzi Knesset says
Better.
he is. Uzi Knesset says I have a friend who used to work for him. Jerry is awake says he is tall lol.
Okay, well, let's fix this. The startup apps. I got rid of it, didn't I? I got rid of it. No, you know what? I know how to fix this. App. Don't need that.
Uzi Knesset says he said I don't know his exact height but I'm 5'10" and he's shorter than me. 5'4", maybe 5 feet 5 inches.
No way. I'm pretty so if we come back to here, where did it go? Did I already close it? I guess I did. How tall?
Sebastian Marquez says what's up everybody. Hi Seth.
Michael Bloomberg. How's it going? He's 5'8". That's above average height or below average height. But it's not 5'4". 5'4" is like a dwarf, dude. Man. OBS. It wants me to close OBS? Ignore. Okay, if something happens to the stream, it's all my fault. It's all my fault. Well, the screen went blank there for a second, but I think we're okay. They have this little utility that always sits in the background that is supposed to be some sort of like internal mixer that I don't need and I don't want. That I don't need and I don't want, and it comes in and it messes up my sound every time that I restart. And for some reason, when I'm playing Origin games, it's like messing up my DNS afterwards, so I have to restart the machine. Rand Squawk tweets, Ronald Reagan, I am not going to exploit for political purposes my opponent's youth and inexperience. Trump, Mini Mike is a 5'4" mass of dead energy. Okay. I'm not even sure what the Fairlight Studio utility is. Okay. I think that's it, unless it was under audio utility. No, it wasn't. It was a part of this thing. Now it should be gone. All right. All right. So now startup apps. Now if I come in here, it's gone. It's gone. I think we did it. Okay. So anyways, the internet claims that Michael Bloomberg is 5'8". I don't. He's gonna look short on stage because, like, these other guys are tall. Okay, but the internet says that he's 5'8". Donald Trump claims that he's 5'4". Okay. Well, but the bigger thing to me is that it seems like Donald Trump is more concerned about Michael Bloomberg than anybody else. The Bernie Sanders fans, you know who they're concerned about? Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg. They're concerned about Pete. Isn't that interesting? Why the difference?
Harlequin says Donald Trump claims many things, lol.
Yeah, he's calling him 5'4". Well, you know what? He might have said that on purpose. Maybe he doesn't actually know how tall Mike is. He just knows that he's met him and that he's short. And he'll say, Michael Bloomberg is 5'4", and then the media will come out and say, well, actually, that's a lie. He's actually 5'8". And then everybody will be paying attention to that he's below average height. They probably said that. Something that was incorrect on purpose. Let's see if the Reddit picked up on that. Treasuries, they traded a ton of volume in through this area, and since then it's been relatively quiet. I can see the E-mini drifting up just a tad, but nothing too spectacular. I think
Show
that I
me the
need
volume
to wait.
says, are we gonna push the open?
I don't know. Are you talking about the open of the this whole kind of gap that we have on the open? I don't know. There's something is definitely happening. Something is definitely happening. Oh, by the way, show me the volume.
Show me the volume says ZN.
I saw that you were following me on Twitter yesterday, so thank you very much. And thanks for coming in and chatting. So the thing is we always look at this opening range. So the opening range was from here to here. 20.5 to 29.5. Notice that we're having a hard time getting back up to 29.5 to extend upwards. But I don't know if we're going to push that opening range. I'm not 100% positive what caused that huge gap. I mean, I know that there was the whole that there's coronavirus fears going around, but I don't know if that's what justified such a strong move. You know what I mean? it's kind of weird. And like when you go to the CNBC, normally with something like that, the CNBC lead would be oh, investors panicked by new, you know, new coronavirus fears. But I don't see that. Okay, so here they definitely like Trump's new tweet. Here's what he said. Mini Mike would be offended by this, but it all went over his head. Gosh. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not getting a read in the 10-year as of yet, and if anything, it looks like they might continue to move up a little bit. But let's kind of see. There was like a ton of volume up in here, and I can't. I want to see somebody lose first before I say something about it. I will say ZB does appear to be building the volume a little bit lower. That might be changing because they're hitting into 04 right now. If we come back down and we're hitting into 02, then maybe we can take a short. Looks like the guacamole just got 10 feet deeper. I don't see anybody talking about the actual number. I don't think that Michael Bloomberg is 5'4", but okay. It's funny. Oh, there was something else I wanted to read here. Anthony, let's see here. Markets taught me a lesson long ago that some things that I think should matter right now don't matter until they matter a lot at a later time when I least expect it. He's probably talking about coronavirus. So tick up again. This tick has been a little bit more like they're trying to hit into 29. It's been a little fidgety. Well, let's see here. We do have 30-year bond auction today. And haven't seen really big orders in the bond. Well, there was the 62. It was kind of interesting how the big order showed up in both here. 161.31 and 130.26 in the 10-year. So that move up might be the one side losing that we were looking for. 29 is kind of a key. Like a 29 is where they were like before the news. So I don't know about that one. Let's check our currencies, perhaps. I can see. Oh, let's see. 6E is down. What is 6XS again? Why did we have that up for? Oh, that was the Swiss franc, right? I see the 6J kind of looks like it could be turning down. I can't predict what currencies are going to do, but it does look like slightly to the down. And the treasuries seem to be doing the opposite right now. U.S. jobless claims edge up to 2,000 from 205,000, but no sign of widespread layoffs. Market Watch. Initial jobless claims edge up by 2,000 to 205,000 in the 7 days ended February 8th. The government said Thursday. Why are they retweeting that? Well, okay, whatever. See, the initial jobless claims was slightly less than expected. And the continuing jobless claims was less than expected. But you got this inflation when you include oil, because oil was down. Then you get a CPI of spot 1 versus spot 2. But then it's spot 2 versus the expected spot 2 when you exclude energy. So that's like a nothing burger. Kind of moved off of that news, and then we just came back up and we're pushing up now. Gonna have to keep an eye on this. Oh, it could see maybe we'll get some sort of a volume. I think that we might see some volume come in here if we continue to move up. Might hold it back Alligator says it's too early, but probably another quiet morning. I don't know. Maybe we're just going to have another really tight day. I just don't understand why this gap and everything in the E-mini is not a bigger deal. People not talking about it. Move my chair a little bit. There we go. See, this is where I should start talking about politics again. But nothing interesting happened yesterday. What happened that was interesting yesterday? I don't think there was any real new news, was there? I remember the Donald Trump supporters were all really upset about there being a what is the word? Like total anti-Trumper on the jury. That the defense tried to fight against, but the judge okayed. I'm starting to think that Donald Trump is going to issue a pardon in that one. But that's not really new news. GOP lawmakers push back on proposal including tampons in the Tennessee tax-free weekend. Says women could purchase 2 men. Wait, what? What? Is that a real headline? That's from The Hill. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. FX Macro tweets looks like a big KO here at 1.0850 in euro. Let's check that one out. 6E. Yes. Well, they're coming up on what is potentially a double bottom. This is a really weird chart pattern over here in the euro. You see how it's like? So it's the upper left chart here. Okay, big down. And then there was like a little double top. And then they completely retraced and they're down at the bottom again, but not quite as low. So I don't know if they just like collapse through or they hit back up really hard. The treasuries have come back quite a bit here, though. That's like another downtick. How are they moving this? It's not with pulling either. That's interesting. But back to the bottom end of this very quickly. That was heavy. Looks like it came down on volume and not pulling. Sneeze here. I know I just coughed, but I feel like sneezing.
Super Trader Mikey says this trading is boring. I prefer DAX and NQ.
Well, we have the email. You're crazy. That's what you. No, you're not crazy. um, I think that a lot of traders are attracted to the NQ that shouldn't be trading it. That's what I think. You can definitely trade it, but you're taking on a lot more risk over there, right? The more it moves, the more risk you're taking on. Just straight up. Even if the amount that
Super Trader Mikey
it
says I
ticks,
am crazy, but NQ is easy to trade.
I wouldn't call it easy to trade, man.
Show me the volume says Dax, NQ equals heart attack material.
I think I've seen more traders blow out on NQ than almost anything else. Oh, and oil. Oil is definitely king. But NQ is up there, man. NQ will chew you up and spit you out. But I don't think I've ever pulled the dom up on NQ. I'll look at the chart, but the specs of it don't. I mean,
Super Trader Mikey says NQ has volatility, but it often reverts to the mean.
well, I mean that's true of all of the equity indexes, right? I'm kind of always a little bit weary of the mean reversion trades in the equity indexes because you'll get this sort of a thing where they can win a lot, but when you lose, it's really ugly, especially if you end up taking any kind of slippage on it. Because man, on just on E-mini, you can end up getting like 4 to 8 ticks of slippage in some instances, and in NQ, it's gonna be like twice that. Mm-mm. But anyways, whether it's boring or not should not be a consideration in which instrument you trade. The consideration should be what gives you the best risk reward probability setups. That's why I trade the 10-year, because I can hold a very, very short risk and I can get pretty high probability trades out of it.
Super Trader Mikey says put all equity price ladders up, look for where pressure is, find moments when NQ it out of hand on days when there is positive correlation and you can scalp successfully. Big Manic says emo up this morning.
Emo, is
Harlequin
that a
says yeah,
stock?
but NQ is only $5 pet ticks. A 3 ticks slippage in NQ is a bit worse than one in S.
Yeah. Um. Wait, are you saying isn't that the mini NQ?
Big Manic says yes.
Isn't that the mini NQ? It's $5 per tick, right? Am I wrong? It's definitely more, right? Like I don't know. I've seen so many accounts blow
Super
up on
Trader Mikey
NQ.
says you never take less than 5 on NQ. Big Manic says 8.40.
I'm not really a stock guy, Big Manic, to tell you the
Super
truth.
Trader Mikey says 5 ticks that is.
We'll talk about like really like oh my gosh, Tesla. Holy crap! And they come out and they decide they're gonna do an offering. Oh man, talk about I'll be interesting to see what they open at today after that one. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of day traders gonna be pissed off
Show me the
about that
volume
one.
says looking like range day. Let's see reaction at 28.5.
Yeah, the treasuries are really being really slow and not too. I mean, we have
Harlequin
big news
says pretty
today.
sure NQ and YM are $5 per tick versus oil gold $10 per tick and S12 $5.
Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. NQ is $5 per tick, but it moves a lot more. That might be right. All I'm saying is I've seen a lot of new traders blow up on NQ. It's just this thing. It's everybody's attracted to the thing that has the largest moves, and that's not necessarily where you want to trade.
Super Trader Mikey says gold and CL don't trade like NQ, so the tactics are diff.
Yeah, well, gold and oil. I mean, CL is like the. Ugh. Yeah, I tell you what, there are some really
Super Trader
good.
Mikey says I'm not a new trader.
There are some really good
Super
CL
Trader Mikey
traders.
says, but I like gold more than CL.
Oh, if you've
Super
been trading
Trader
for
Mikey
16
says,
years,
I've been
that's
trading
different.
for 16 years.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a good track record on it, then great. But the thing that always kind of makes me tick, like you
Lucas
can
says
just tell,
respect.
I can't handle it. Is when people say, "Ah, this instrument is boring. You should trade something more interesting." Oh, that is like the worst reason to trade something. Like if you feel the need that you get bored and you feel like I need to trade something that's more interesting, do the opposite. Like do the opposite. It means that you have an issue with impulsivity and you need to trade something where you need to be
Lucas
patient so you
says the
can
need for
learn
speed.
patience.
Super Trader Mikey says it is easy to blow up chasing momentum.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's the other way around too, right? Like when markets get super slow, it's easy to get chopped up. Here in the E-mini, or sorry, here in the 10-year treasury, this is
Super Trader
not
Mikey says you should trade based on your psychology and edge.
this seems like an area that you're really likely to get diced up in. And they're still not giving me any kind of a real indication about where they want to go. I suppose that the volume still appears to be higher. It's also interesting that big order that was at 26 moved up. So it does kind of feel like that the big guy is trying to push higher. But I don't know if that's ever actually going to come. If it does, it might not be for another 30 minutes. But we could potentially try something in the E-mini if we see a good setup. But yeah, I mean, it depends on what your edge is. See, the other thing is, well, I should investigate that. I've found that following the order flow in the E-mini is kind of a dicey proposition. Like if you go with the market orders, you usually lose. It's what I've been, and that I mean, you can still make trades based off
Super
of order
Trader
flow. It's
Mikey
just
says
you're
what you said
probably
is why
going
I don't
against
trade
it,
treasuries.
so you go against it. Yeah, because it goes slow and there's like nothing in there. Yeah, because in the E-mini, at the very least, you can probably still catch your
Super Trader
range.
Mikey says I have edge in treasuries, but I don't like it.
Hmm. In this kind of environment right now, I don't have an edge in treasuries. That's why I'm just kind of sitting here looking at it. Okay, that big order at 26, did they trade through it? No. Sorry, was at 26.5. I didn't catch there if there was a collision. I missed it. Oh, I thought I was looking there, but where did I? Oh, okay, whatever. They're below it now. Oh, this kind of flippy action always makes me nervous because remember like 2 weeks ago when we were seeing these sorts of things in the 10-year and they would flip it over and over and over? Uh, yeah, I don't know. I can't remember when it was. I don't think it was last week, so I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago. You would see this thing in the treasuries where there would be a big order would show up, and then they would hit into the
Show
order
me
and
the
flip
volume, says
around.
ZB. UB can't print new lows.
And if you started to, I started to think, oh, okay, like let's just treat that as a reversal for this market, and then it would show up again, and it would reverse over and over again, and you couldn't tell which way it was going to go, and they would go like 3 or 4 times before they finally decided on a direction. ZB Ubi can't print new lows. Well, we're like way off of the lows, right? Remember when I was saying, oh, there's the O3, they need to start printing lower than the O3? And they did. But it's not a great setup. Unfortunately. 26 is like right where you might expect to see some support, so I wait. There was also on this down move, a little bit too much volume on it. It wasn't like a huge overextension. But...
Show me the volume says I meant for today's RTH session starting 8:20 a.m.
Oh, okay. So starting at 8:20, you're talking about like just trying to get below the 25 half. Well, it's definitely interesting the way that we came back down, isn't it? Can't say that I see something that really gives me confidence in what direction this is moving, but it's definitely interesting order flow. Oh, I know what's going on. I was like, did I just hear somebody go outside? I think it did. Because the grandparents are going to be leaving. Bloomberg Business. China replaces top officials at the center of the deadly coronavirus outbreak. Uh-oh. Somebody's going to the gulag. That's not meant to be funny. Goldman Sachs says reasons for near-term caution. Let's read that one. We, GS, see a number of reasons for some near-term caution. A high degree of uncertainty about the size of duration of the corona disruptions and their implications for incoming data. Limited expected policy support by major central banks. High absolute valuations for domestic stocks. As a result, the short-term asymmetry in some asset classes looks poor. Investors may see better entry points for pro-cyclical trades. For the time being, macro investors should stick with carry-oriented structures. Makes sense. Hence why our macro instruments aren't really moving. Okay, that was an interesting tick right there. Are they going to hit into 26? 26 pulled. It pulled, but then somebody stacked something at 27 half. Oh, no, wait, that was 129, 27 half. Ooh, you're trying to be sly. Uh-huh. I should just filter those ones that are like really far out, but okay. Stack on 25 half. But they hit into him. So that's a real oof. Mm-hmm. You know, I really could have taken this short. No, actually. No. It doesn't fit. It doesn't quite fit. China's President Xi pledges to minimize the impact of the virus. China will definitely be able to minimize the impact of the coronavirus outbreak and will maintain the development momentum of its economy. Okay. New cases ex Hubei 312, the lowest since January 24th, and is now less than new discharges ex Hubei, which is 369. This is a significant milestone that is being overlooked or not even noticed because of the technical definition change, which is irrelevant. Says FX Macro. Okay. I haven't really been keeping up on those numbers, so I don't particularly care. Okay, so that was a ton of ticks lower there. So it was definitely a short.
Knesset says downside value target in ZB at 61.19.
19? You see this right here? I think I have to take that one.
Uzi Knesset says Schwerb.
I might have missed it. I might have missed it. Ooh, he's clicking a lot here. Stacking and pulling at 24. Okay, they hit him. We did miss it. Big stack at 24. Okay, they yeah. I thought it was a level break. Oh. Okay.
Uzi Knesset says clickety clackety watch your backety.
Yeah, right. Well, we missed that one. Look at the way that he's pushing it though. That could reverse. I would be, well, let's see if I can justify it here. Nope. I was going to say you might be able to reverse at 23. A little bit too much volume at 23.5 though. Look at that. And there's a pretty good chance they're going to rebalance here a little bit. Like they could come back to maybe 25.
Ace Trade says morning.
Hey, good morning, Ace. How have you been? By the way, where's the E-mini moving here? They want to move down? Well, there's your 2 in ZN. Maybe I should have taken that one.
Ace Trade says good. It just took a downturn.
It did turn down there, didn't it? And the treasury's coming back up a little bit. I don't know if that little turn matters. There is an inside bar here. Now, if 33.61.25 goes, then I'm really might see something more in the E-mini. But if we do see something more in the E-mini, then does that really justify what just happened in the 10-year? Kind of contradictory at that point, isn't it?
Ace Trade says short 3,364.
Okay, I can take that one. Actually. Like it's kind of in a slightly uncertain area for me, but it's reasonable, and with confirmation from Ace, I think we can take it. Let's see if we can see a little spot to stick our exit order in here.
Ace Trade says just looking for 1 or 2 points.
Right. Those orders in the micro are holding pat. Okay. Decent amount of volume at 24 in the 10-year as well. It's kind of interesting to me. Normally in the 10-year I will have some feeling about which way I want it to go. Like, oh, I really want to buy it right now, or I really want to sell it. And I'm not getting those feelings at all today. I did kind of feel like I missed out on the downside, but I think that was kind of more me just being FOMO, you know? Okay. So we're getting some expansion coming into the E-mini. Expansion in terms of like volatility. So I'm just going to draw a little. See what happens. Okay. And the offers in the 10-year are looking pretty thick. Then 23 is acting a little fishy. Might not be reliable if they tick down and start stacking on the offer at 23.5. Well, whatever's going on in the treasuries, there's like two sides to this. It's a lot of volume. Okay.
Show me the volume says shorts aren't getting rewarded down here.
In the 10-year? You should try to be specific about which instrument you're talking about, since we've got so many that we're following here. Okay, so there was a few ticks down in the E-mini. They try and break through this downside bar.
Lucas says since I gained some weight my shorts aren't getting rewarded either.
Oh, did you just make that one up, Lucas? That was good. That's great stuff.
Show me the volume says oh yeah in 10-year.
Well, like I said, when you get the big volume crescendo like that, and then there was a 10K iceberg down at the bottom, pretty hard to short that one. Well, not pretty hard. I mean, that's the one that like everybody tries to FOMO into and gets screwed on. That's why I was saying you could maybe take that for a reversal for that one is normally 2 to 4 ticks. But the impulse was so strong, I didn't feel like taking a counter trend trade. That's why I didn't take it. But yeah, what you would tend to see after this is if the trend continues in the 10-year, right? We come back up, and somewhere between 24 and 26, it will just like they'll lose interest and stall out. Now the other side of that though might be that the E-mini might fall apart. Okay, so I am getting some confirming signals in the E-mini. They're still somewhat tepid. So there's your 1 point. Hit big or miss big says I desperately need a pullback.
Gary Rich says good morning. Why does it seem so gloomy for everyone?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what the deal was with the gap on the extended session. You know what the deal was? Was there like a specific headline that caused that? I just thought it was kind of weird. Okay, so the risk off is definitely coming in here now. Off, in, on.
Lucas says there's your point, Ace.
Yep, good job. We gonna get 2? Oh, I don't like that. Yeah. Okay, there's still a chance that we get
Ace
filled,
Trade says it, Lucas, yup. More to come.
I have a good spot in the queue. I think I'm gonna try and hold it. Because they're breaking some lines here. Like, I really think that they're gonna go for 33, 61, 25.
Jerry is awake says fine here watching birds on feeder lol.
Oh man, some of these days, like having a baby and then birds. Oh, it's so bad, guys. The sound of a baby crying is such an interesting thing, man. Because when I first hear it, I'm just like, oh, that's so cute. And it's kind of like, I kind
Lucas says congrats on your baby, Seth.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, we got, well, we should do
Lucas says cute
no.
pics.
But then it's
Ace
like,
Trade says and so it begins, lol.
After about 5 seconds of it, then you start to get that feeling like, oh, I have to do something quickly. You know what I mean? Even though you know that it's just like, oh, they're probably just hungry. But for some reason, it kind of like instills this desire to act, this strong desire to act. It's such a weird thing. So Ace, when you or earlier you're saying there's more to come, do you have things about your system that you look at that give you
Show
an
me
idea
the volume
if
says
it's
you're about to start
more
having
likely
to
to
trade
go?
you open with baby keeping you up at night. Hey ho says hello, new to the channel, been trading futures for a few years. Finally someone trading live with.
Ah, thank you.
Ace Trade says nope, just being positive.
Okay. I gotcha. I would normally be concerned about getting filled at 33.62, but I have a good spot in the queue, so we'll see. And hi Ohio, thank you for stopping in. We've had a couple of new people stop in today. I'm kind of surprised. I'm wondering. It's like they all come in at once. I'm like, what's going on? And we don't have necessarily a ton more people watching today than we normally do, so it's kind of cool though. What was I thinking? Oh yeah, you know what? The baby has been up at night. We've been doing pretty good at like feeding him a ton before we go to bed, so that it's not too bad at night. So I'm doing okay on that front, and I haven't been working this week, so I've been able to take naps during the day, and I feel okay on the sleep front. Um, man, the thing that I'm dealing with right now. Oh
Show me
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
volume says found you off of #ZN_F on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that. Show me the volume. That was funny because the like the past 2 weeks or
Gary Rich
so,
says posted in Discord lobby possible reason why.
there's been a lot of interest in the 10-year. And then all of a sudden yesterday, it just went dead and like nobody wanted to talk about it anymore. And I'm like, yes. Back to my old friend is back. The old reliable goes nowhere 10-year treasuries, you know? and you saw that tweet and it was like, this guy definitely likes to trade the treasuries. So I enjoyed when I saw that you had followed off of that tweet because normally when we tweet maybe I'll get like one or two people, but I pay attention to it and I caught you. I caught that and I enjoyed it. Um, there was a bunch of things that I was thinking here. Oh yeah, so the thing that's catching me right now though is that I haven't been able to get
Show me the
my
volume
weekly elder
says I know
prescription
that
filled.
non-farm Friday last week had a lot of opportunity for me.
Hmm.
Jacob Amaral says hey Seth, we are looking for futures trading mentors on We Trade HQ. Is Discord your best way to contact you?
Yeah, so you can contact me on Discord. I don't know if I would really be um I don't really have the time to like do one-on-one stuff with people right now. That's kind of like anything that I feel like I have to share right now we can do on stream. But you can tell me what you're thinking and I'll consider it anyways. My take has always been like I try to make this channel is much more about the community. Like I try not to focus on performance too much just because everybody has bad times and I know that I'm going to have like I have times where I'm trade really really badly and times when I trade really really well and I want the focus to be more on creating a solid community that I just don't think exists in the futures trading, And a stream is a really great way to do it. So from that perspective, with our Discord, always willing to help people. That's why even though I'm not like a huge fan of combines, when the Trade to Win guys gave us a promotion code that gave you guys a discount, I said okay. Because that helps you. Even if I'm not a fan of combines. So so the treasury.
Hey ho says name of Discord.
It is in the video description. It's the Futures Trading Discord. But if you just scroll down here on YouTube, it's in the video description. The E-mini has just kind of been hovering here for a while. I really think they want to test that hourly open though. It's so close to the open though. I don't know. There we go. I was actually earlier in the queue than it said. So it said I was 43 and they filled me at like 35. Yeah, so let's just double check here. Dun, 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 dun. Yep. So if you scroll down to the video description,
Lucas
all the way
says
down,
it was a good trade nonetheless.
There's the Discord link. I also have a Patreon where I post a Bitcoin valuation model that I post every day. It's kind of suggesting that Bitcoin is a little overbought, but that one's I look at the Patreon as more like like the way that
Ace
Patreon
Trade
is supposed to be
says
used.
too.
It's like a donation. It's like thank you for running the stream, and we use that money and we've put it back into the stream, and that's how we're able to have a nice camera and good lighting and stuff like that. I actually think, well, I want a new microphone. I do want a new microphone, but then after that, I think we've put everything that we ever need to put into it. But I really appreciate it, guys. It's been, I tell you, this stream when I started it, it was just like a thing for that contest. for that Futures IO contest, and I never thought that people would want to join me and trade
Lucas
treasuries.
says I started
I
doing
really
okay in
didn't.
S, but then I began to see trades at every tick and corner. I am now cutting back and relearning.
Yeah, you know what, Lucas? I've been doing the same thing. Like, I'll have a good run, and then there will be some time period where I'll feel like I want to make a ton of trades, and I'll have like one day where I take tons of trades and end up down, and then I cut back and I start doing well again. And I'm not quite sure. It seems like it's a psychological thing on one side, but then there's also like I think that there's certain situations where what we're doing doesn't work very well, and I don't completely understand it yet. Okay, so here's the open. I'm glad that I'm out before the open. So let's see what they do. Remember, it was 33, 61, 25 was the open of the previous hour. Oosh. Gadoosh. There it is. Man, that was interesting. Well, now you would wish that you're still in it, huh? So Ace, you leave it running? Please, he left it running. I know him. He still
Lucas
has
says
it.
we
Good
treasury
job.
traders are used to wait for setups, sometimes for too long lol. Coming to S is hard to dissect which trades to take and which ones to avoid.
Oh yeah, totally. Well, like the problem you get, I mean, this is with all trading, really, but I feel like it gets to you more in the 10-year. Is like you're waiting for some sort of a confirmation, like you're waiting for like this thing that gives you the clear signal as to whether we're moving up or down. And then when it comes in all at once, and then you've missed it. You know what I mean? That's where it's like you want to be in before the move. You want to be in before everybody else realizes what's happening. And if you wait for too much confirmation, then you get into the point where everybody gets confirmation, and then it just goes and you're too late. You're too late. And the E-mini is really, really weird with that sort of a thing, because it'll be like, oh, okay, let's say that I want to go short. Oh, this is a great place to short. Maybe I should short it here. No, well, it's pushing up really strongly. It's pushing up really strongly. We should hold off. We should hold off. And then, I don't know what it's going to do, but then we'll say it'll go down, and it'll be like, should have taken it. Well, maybe it'll come back up and fill me, and then it never does. And then if I say, oh,
Lucas says totally. I've waited for 2 days once. And then you are afraid you are going to miss a trade because opportunities are not abundant and maybe make a bad call.
yeah. Like when you try going through like the rock paper scissors of it, it's like there's no you lose no matter what. It seems like you lose no matter what you do, right? Because I'm telling you, there are some of these algorithms that they're just waiting for all of us to make a decision. Like there's a certain group of people that sometimes we all end up making the same decision, and it's just waiting for us to all get on the same side so they can screw us over. I really honestly believe that that's some of what goes on. And they do it based on the range. So if you're doing it on the range, you're always gonna. Okay, so 3368 is kind of like my upside target. So I think that they're going to they should make maybe another push. 19. They could make another push here, and then it might turn back around and go the other way if this is where we're getting an expanding range. I'm surprised that they came down to Uzi's 19 so quickly. But where were we when we were like, we missed that trade? It was at like, what, 25, 26?
Uzi Knesset says person shrugging.
Yeah. We really missed the trade in the 10-year, didn't we? That's okay. Well, another 8K at 22.5. So are they going to pull back from there again? I can see the E-mini. Oh, you know what? On that move up, they didn't actually have that much volume. How come I'm not getting my everything? That's weird. Let's refresh that and see if that fixes. Chart output.
Uzi
Still.
Knesset says ZB Daily Candle is ugly gravestone.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. Indicator cannot access the Jigsaw CSV because it is being used by another process. What uses it? That's so weird. Okay, well, whatever. Oh, it did die out there. Okay, cool. Well, we're cool. We're good now. I have for those of you guys that are new, because apparently there's a bunch of you today. I have these indicators that I've written that are proprietary. Well, I wrote them, that are based on level 2. It's basically just showing me how much level 2 activity there is, and you can see there. And I wasn't getting a whole lot of activity in the mini, and I'm like, what's wrong? But now I can see that it's coming in. The activity in the 10-year is much more interesting today, though. There's definitely a downtrend, and you're getting spikes every down move. That last one in particular was pretty big. These ones is where you tend to see, when you see a spike here, it means that somebody's trying to make a move happen and it's not happening. So normally you'll see it move after that. That one's a little weird. So that one might have been warning you about the incoming short. I don't know. Look at the way that the cumulative delta came back, by the way, too. It's kind of like slow up and then. Okay, well. Anyways. 3370. Oh, is it going to do it? Let's keep an eye on this E-mini here. Especially if it ends up being like a down close.
Uzi Knesset says which one of you shorted ZB down here and stopped it from hitting 19? Grinning squinting face.
Oh, okay. Have you ever noticed, Uzi, that ZB has a tendency to always come 1 or 2 ticks short? So John would always say, like, he would do his analysis and he'd say, okay, here's the trade and here's the target. And it would always come 1 tick short of the target.
Uzi Knesset says all the time lol.
And I know that seems like a confirmation bias sort of a thing, but like I started tracking it. I was like, okay, where does it stop in relation to the target?
Gary Rich says if you overlay a $yen with any of the instruments like 10 years or Big 4, hour by hour when yen turns, the others seem to follow.
Yeah. Although, interestingly enough, the yen hasn't come down all. I mean, it's down for sure, but not all that aggressively. Like when you look at the chart in the yen, upper left, it still kind of looks like the beginning of a short turn that could flip back around on us, Kind of interesting, but the yen the yen correlation has not been as strong as it normally has been. Okay, so we're getting this bar is still being relatively strong. We're only halfway through it though. This is the one that often reverses in the E-mini. So let's just watch here. Oh, that baby, I can hear him. Okay, so it's coming back down again. Ooh, it's getting there. 67.75. My question though is, can it hold my risk?
Gary Rich says it's not a perfect science or correlation, but it gives a strong tell.
Yeah. This is, I don't know if it's going to give me a good price. I kind of want to wait 20 seconds. So let's just chill here. But we're getting a short-term reversal in the E-mini. Okay. Okay.
Gary Rich says the yen bottomed and the big three gave back some of these losses.
Oh, I don't like that. Too many people going into shorts there with me. Okay. Is the treasury coming back up? Questionable. Questionable.
Dave A says mornin' boys. Don't
Good
forget to hit
morning,
that like
Dave.
button if you don't hate babies and like money.
I mean, if you hate babies and you don't click the like button, I understand. I won't hold it against you. There's something wrong with you, but I'm not going to hold it against you. Give it to me. Give it to me, please. Oh, 17. Are you kidding me? There we go. Cool. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. E-Mini, sir. There could be way more left in that, but I still want to stick to my 2 points. So notice how much it's coming back already. It's almost like they came down just for my order. So if you're some huge market maker out there and you pushed it down just for me, I really appreciate it. That's probably not what happened, but wonder if John's there. I haven't heard from him today, but that looks like the setup. Okay. Hey, I'm really happy that we got a second one today. That we took it and we made some money on it. We were able to take both trades in the mini today, and it worked out. Now look, they're gonna make a push higher again.
RJ Wheels says, do you just trade 10-year? Gary
Well,
Rich says, you're welcome, Seth. I am the Illuminati.
it's because I've been doing this, right? It's like, okay, guys, we have to move the E-mini in the direction that he's taking it. Actually, you know what? Let's go back and look at this because we've been doing okay. Oh, I don't want all those 10-year trades. In fact, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Filter editor. Instrument begins with an M. Aha. Okay. Yeah.
Gary Rich says the YM gave back 50 PTS off the yen bottom perfect scalp. You're welcome.
Interesting. Okay, well they came back down again. Like they were buying really good and now they came back down. I think that they would have broken my stop if I had stayed in that. No, they wouldn't have broken my stop, but I would have been above 33.68. I want it to stay below 33.68. Um but anyways, when I look at my overall trading for the past 2 weeks, I made it says 70. Well, here I'll show you. Made 70, but 4 good trades in a row. This day though, I don't remember these. Okay, so that was a bad day. Were these all the same day? Those two were a different day, but those were all the same day. See, that's where it's like I get like, you know, that one, 4 bad trades, they all failed. Like what the heck? Heavens. But 4 in a row is good. 4 in a row says to me that we're doing something that's more than just chance. Part of it, though, I think, is that I just have like a setup and momentum, and I'm not looking for a whole lot. Okay, so they are above 68, and they're going to push it up again. Yeah. See, I thought like the setup was good, but then the order flow wasn't quite right on it. And I'm not even sure how I can explain what I saw that was weird. Yeah. I think what we're seeing right now in the E-mini suggests to me that the consolidation area has been broken and that the trend is more conclusively to the upside. Big old iceberg at 24, they coming back. Oh, so somebody asked me, was like, do you only trade the 10-year? RJ Will was asking. So I took a trade there in the micros, right? I've actually been trading the micros more often. But the 10-year is what I love. The 10-year, just, I find it so incredibly, when people say, oh, the 10-year is so boring, I'm like, how can you say that? Like, look at it right now. Okay. It's 600 bid at 23, 200 bid at 23. Nobody's hitting it. Okay. Now they hit it and they offer 23. Okay. Well, it backs off to 17, but it was still a pretty good stack. And the 5-year is hitting in at 23. Maybe they tick down and you might get a little bit of stoppage. Nope. They stacks 1,000 at 23. See, like there's always something going on. It ticks back up. There's always something going on in the 10-year. It's just like you just have to look at the level too and not just whether it ticks up or down. If you're addicted to the dopamine that you get from when it ticks your way, then yeah, you're gonna have a hard time. But that's something that I think you should try and overcome. You know, and it's exciting to me to just watch the level 2 change and see how that progresses. 2 ticks up now. The 10-year is, or sorry, the E-mini is having a hard time sustaining this price. That's probably because all of those shorts got stopped out. So that doesn't mean that we can't get more trend if people really decide to come in and range extension up, but it also means that if they want to continue up, they might have to fall back down. Oh, look at that. So that time they fell back down almost like 2 points really quickly on almost nothing in the E-mini. in the E-mini. Bum, 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 ba-dum. The treasuries are clicking back up much quicker. Notice that it was only 15, 12, 16, 15 to tick up each step there between 22.5 and 24 in the 10-year. I'm starting to get like into it. Very curious. Is the yen doing something? The yen came back a little bit there. I don't know if that's what it is. The E-mini is giving some suggestions of double top, but I think that it might be more a consolidating range triangle higher. Up at the high. But I don't have a setup anymore.
Gary Rich says the 10 years is too slow for me. I like it fast and painful, just like my women.
So this is why I have that video that's which futures product should you trade. Because to me, you don't want the girl that's going to slash your tires. I know it's fun, but I'm telling you, trust me here with women, you know, the girl that's reliable and you get into your groove and you just do your thing for years and years and years is way better. Okay? Married people have way more sex than single people. Way more. Way more. And they enjoy it more. Those are the statistics. I'm just saying. Find somebody that's reliable. And I say the 10-year is reliable. In fact, I say that the E-mini. I think that the E-mini is reliable too. It's just the E-mini is a little bit of drama. She's a little bit of a drama queen. Okay? But she's, she's still good, like reliable and all that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. 69. So yeah, my setup, I'm surprised that I got 2 ticks out of that setup, but it is moving higher. It is like, oh man, look at this line I've drawn. Okay. This is really weird. So John and I have been toying around with this concept of expanding ranges that in any given area, there's always going to be some sort of an expanding range. And so I drew it from this outside bar here to this inside bar. And look at how closely it ended up matching. I mean, they went well
Gary
beyond
Rich
it,
says
but
I
then they
enjoy
came
taking
back
the
up.
horse out of the barn and ride for long periods. Not keep her tied up just eating hay.
No, yeah, well, that's true. The whole thing about like you could sit 30 minutes and not see a trade in the 10-year is certainly like, I understand it's a frustrating thing for people, but I believe that it's something that everybody has to learn, regardless of what
RJ
instrument they
Wheel
trade.
says I think the YM is the compromise center line if NQ is one side and the bonds are the other extreme.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the E-mini has way more volume in it, right? So that's why I like it. But I digress. This, you have to be patient in treasury, sure, but you have to be patience is going to benefit you no matter what you trade. So this is why I say, if you've never traded the 10-year, that like give it a month or 3 months and trade it. And it might be painful. It might be a really painful and frustrating 3 months, but you're going to learn so much. You're going to learn so much from it because it forces you into so many habits that are going to be good on other instruments. Being patient, really making sure that you have a really good signal, knowing when you don't really have edge and that it's just going to be chopped, Other instruments like the E-mini, in the E-mini, if your target is short enough, there's just based off of randomness, there's a good chance that you're going to catch it. Whereas in the 10-year, you really, to get the full range or more than that, you really got to have a real you really have to have seen something, you know? And so you could get this thing in the E-mini. You might think that your strategy has some expectancy when it really doesn't, because you're just catching random
RJ
noise.
Wheels says amen. Patience is the key.
And then when that time comes in where it's trending against your indicator or whatever, you're in your drawdown, you just get pummeled and yes. Whereas in the treasuries, you're going to find out pretty quickly if you're just catching noise, right? She doesn't toy with you. She lets you know how she feels right away. And that's what I like about the 10-year. Well, they continue to push higher. Now well beyond my little line, so they might go for that 33.8125. That's like 10 points from here. Ooh, I don't know about that one. I think it could get up there, but I think we'd need to see a little bit of a pullback first. It does look like that we're having consolidating triangle higher and that they busted through it. But there's like profit taking here in the 72 area, between 71 and 72. So that's not something I normally expect to see. But maybe this is the one where it's going to come back down through to 33.7025 and
Gary
build
Rich
some
says
volume.
trading the 10 years is like playing bingo with senior citizens. Too slow for me.
Yeah, well, you trade oil. Well, some of you guys can handle the crazy girlfriends, not me.
Harlequin says the good thing about equities though is that they are mostly bullish. Yes, there are some short times, but like 80% of the time long is the way to go. So you don't need to play both sides.
Well, or not even that, but if you have you can have asymmetrical signals, like the thing that you are looking for when you go long can be different from the thing that you're looking for when you go short. And that can kind of increase your probability, or at the very least, like, you will have a much better idea of, you know, what kind of market you're in the E-mini. I think I don't know, like in the treasuries, to understand what kind of a market that we're in, there's like tons of little things that you got to look at, right? Like what time of month, what day of the week, and there's all these business cycles that you have to consider. Whereas in the E-mini, I feel like
Harlequin
that most
says,
of us
honestly,
kind
I
of
hate
know.
going short in the E-mini. I feel so dirty. Seldom I go short. And we have crazy volatility short. Well, just don't trade a mini for the day. At least that's what I do.
I really like taking the shorts in the E-mini because they run so quickly, you know? Like when you get those shorts, that's when you're going to get those like $100, $200 trades. And then you reverse it and then you can get it the other way. Oh, we've done that, right? I've screwed myself over playing that, but I think overall I've made money from doing it. So yeah, I don't know. But asymmetrical trades, I think that there's some benefit to those. I've been working on some asymmetry in the treasuries, but I'm still don't completely understand it. Like one of the things that I've noticed in the treasuries is that when it goes down, sometimes it'll just go down on nothing.
Gary Rich says if you trade futures, equities, options, always something to do. Endless amounts of opportunities. A blended approach.
Okay, so when the shorts came in there and they pushed through 33.70, that like I said, like the trade would have been for them to come back to the 33.70 area and build some volume, but they didn't do that. They just blew right through it. So I think in that case, you shouldn't have even entered. Like, I don't think that you ever even got the entry signal long. So is that maybe a reversal now? They sure did bail there quickly when it came down, didn't they? And look at the way that the treasuries came back up. Very, very aggressive in the treasuries, back up to 25. Ooh, if they get back up to like 26, 27, then we could start to see some crazy stuff. Like in the treasuries, when you see a real flush off of a level break trade like that, it's not normal for us to come back up. So for us to be at 26 now, there must be a headline or something. Like, that is crazy. Okay. I see here. Administration sources say they believe China is underreporting the number of coronavirus cases by at least 100,000 in China. Also, sources say the administration believes China is severely underreporting the number of deaths from the virus. Is that what's pushing it? Is the administration believes that China is underreporting it? You're now getting a huge spike, though, in the treasuries. You know what? I don't know if you want to fight the coronavirus trade. You don't fight this. No way. But I'm really hesitant to go along with it too. Why have I been so hesitant to go along with the trend lately? You notice that? I've been missing a lot of the good trends in treasuries. But now above 26, so all of that short has been washed out. I mean, if they really get going, they could really get going. Oh man, like I have to buy that one right there. I wouldn't even get filled. Oh, I don't know, man. That felt so FOMO. Okay. That's okay. Man, the E-mini's just getting creamed. Wow. This could really run. And I really don't think that the headline justifies it, but oh, okay, so they did take a step back there. Okay, so 28 is fighting a little bit. Oh, look at the guy hold it at 28. This is Edward Lawrence also tweeting. Administration sources say scientists are working on how the coronavirus spread, are having difficulty getting
Gary
to the
Rich
site
says,
on
wow,
where
what a
the
slam
first case
reversal in
happened.
YM and the others.
That could help scientists determine if it's spread by contact or is also airborne. This trade came back. It looks
Gary
like
Rich says reversal headline risk.
yeah. But there are some people fighting it, isn't there? Okay. Good to tick up. Oh, look at this stack. Oh, this could really go. I don't know, man. It's so interesting. This is just like the perfect so I got in at 27 and I felt like kind of FOMO-ish doing it. But I did it because I knew that the imbalance here is just so extreme that this could really, really run. So let's see if we can get if we can get 8 out of it, then that's probably the maximum that I should allow it to go. Just because I know that my emotions are going to get the best of me in this kind of a situation. But I might even take it off before then if I see a really,
Bot
really
says
strong
all the treasuries did was retest the
offer.
price the 10-year auction went off at yesterday, 130, 230 or 161.22 in the ZB.
Yeah. Well, the thing though, John, was when we were at 26 before, there was a really strong level break trade there. There was a level break, and then all of those guys puked lower.
Harlequin says some people really make money trading those news headlines, but I mostly use money when I try. Really don't know where to get in or how big the impact of the news. Therefore I try to stay out.
So, there was definitely somebody coming in today with the intention of selling short to close the gap. And all of those guys are getting screwed over big time. So like I said,
Harlequin says asterisk lose lol.
perfect recipe for a lot of shorts to get wrecked here in the treasuries in particular. Like the E-mini, it's not quite as extreme. But the treasuries the equities, it's not as extreme, but equities overreact to everything anyways, so that probably doesn't matter. But in the 10-year treasury in particular, I see a lot of opportunity for it to run. Not only that, but we're moving from what was a relatively calm market into an extremely volatile market. Okay, so 28 oh. So somebody tried to tamp down there at 28.5. That might be my exit. I don't know if they're going to give me another chance. It's still ticking a lot. U.S. CDC confirms 15th case of coronavirus disease in the United States. That's also probably something that people have been sitting out there watching. Okay. I'm also noticing when they take a price that it's not just like a big order and a click, but it's a flood of orders, so a bunch of people getting in. Okay. Well, they seem to be relatively balanced at 28 for now. The E-mini is showing some signs of holding. I don't know if they can completely recover this down bar. Oh man. Okay. So buyers are seem to be at 27.5 for the moment. That's good. The E-mini is just to the open. Well, that's curious. As dramatic as that is, they really only retrace the open. So curious. Yeah, this one we were hitting here at 28, I should have gotten out. I was hoping that they were going to try and hit it again, but they didn't. So I missed the opportunity there. I don't know if that means that I should be trying to offer out at 27.5 or not. We actually trade 29 at one point. Watch live. World Health Organization gives updates on the coronavirus outbreak. Okay. That 27.5 is struggling.
Gary Rich says waiting to see a relative strong bounce from this headline reversal.
The 27 pulled. Dun, 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 dun. Wah, 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 wah. I got screwed there, guys. Sucky thing is that the E-mini could totally just turn down here and just start plowing down lower again and treasuries could push up even stronger, but um, otherwise um, the opportunity becomes really sketchy for my signals, at least. Mm-hmm. Waiting for the fill here feels awful. Okay. Scratched it. That's okay. Yeah, when they ticked down and the guys tried to buy it back and there was like 4K offer at 28, I was like, when I think one of the problems that I have is when it goes wrong, I'm often not sure how to handle the trade. Yeah. Okay, so are we going to come back to? Okay, so that was a VWAP bounce actually. Oh my! Oh, I wish I had seen that earlier. That was a VWAP bounce. So then they come back to 25. Hmm. Fed nominee Shelton would never support negative rates. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Shelton. We appreciate your commitment to a strong U.S. currency. Let's not become like Europe. Okay. Hmm. This doesn't look over, but I don't know if it's gonna turn around and go higher or not. There's so much volume trading at 26.5, 27 in the 10-year. I'm not. Well, I take that back. That might be a reversal long in ES. Around 33.66. Maybe if Ace had something to back me up, but I don't. I can't make the call off of that one. It's kind of in the spot where I look for stuff, but I can't. I don't actually see something that indicates like a imbalance to me. Well, I take that back. They sold the ES pretty hard there, and they're in order for them to retrace all of the volume, they might have to come all the way back. Let's pull up. I wonder if the Jigsaw guys are saying anything. Okay, later. Mm-mm-mm. That was, yeah, I don't know, guys. That was an awfully strong move, and I just don't see how how that they come down and then they just ignore. I don't know. Good morning. At 8:30. Okay. Or are you gonna pass the baby off to me here or something? I mean, I don't think I'll be taking a trade. I can hold him if it helps. Okay. Here, come and just show him for a second. Come and show him for a second. I'll show him. You want to see him here? Yeah. Yeah. Your hand's in the way. Yeah, sure. Oh, he just sleeps. Isn't it precious? Hmm. Interestingly enough, in the Jigsaw chat room, I have not seen anybody say anything since 7:30. So almost 45 minutes. 3368 is a 4-hour level. This is what's he got here? Good catch there, John. I think what's happening here. Remember when I was saying, "Oh yeah, the guys in the treasuries, they seem like they're going to be really off balance, and this could really run." Um, there's definitely some imbalance in the treasuries. They could continue the move up. I don't know. But when I look at the E-mini, I'm realizing that the market is still relatively range bound. It was very quiet this morning, and it looks to me like in the E-mini, what happened was all of the longs puked and it dumped, and then when they all puked, it reversed again because it's just following my lines almost perfectly. So yeah, I don't know. I'm typing something super long here. What is the word that I'm looking for? Like all of the traders got shuffled around there. Now, with all of this, it looks to me like the cumulative delta is still not moving up in the uh, E-mini. So if they turn down again, then we could be on some real downward move. if I had something in the E-mini right now that I knew for sure which way it was going to go here from 3368, I would absolutely take it because the risk reward here looks like really really good. Not risk reward, but I mean there's the probability that it's going to run when it gets away from here looks really positive. I just don't know if it's going to be up or down. So, I don't know. This crazy move. I can't believe that I didn't get a winner. I didn't take profit off of that treasury trade. That's super frustrating. Super frustrating, guys. I mean, that was a relatively strong bounce that Gary was looking for, but I don't know. At the moment, though, I remember how I was saying I'm not getting that feeling like I really want to take a position. I really want to short the E-mini. I see this pullback and I'm like, let's short it. Let's have a down day. Let's do it. But I don't see the setup to do it. I don't. We took the hour short for one bar and then it came back up. I can't. That's not a great signal for me. Okay, well, I'm going to be taking the kids to school today. That gives me 10 minutes. I should post my cryptocurrency notes. 6J came up so hard there. That's funny. Like if I had taken 3368, I would have gotten 2 points. But what would that would be so off plan because I just don't see like a real probability set up here. And that probably means that they're going to move down and it's going to be really strong and I'm going to be so FOMO about it. But I just don't see the thing. Can I open the connection? Really? Been giving me some of my sources have been giving me errors lately. Okay, they gave it to me. Mm-mm. Did Bitcoin move off of that? Oh, that's interesting. Oh man.
Gary Rich says so quiet in here, what happened?
I'm just typing out my cryptocurrency notes. I think that everybody, well, the chat went quiet because I think y'all took trades, or maybe some of you guys were long and got taken, caught off guard by that move. I'm sure. I mean, that was like really, really weird stuff, right?
RJ Wheels says I'm
Thursday,
reviewing
right?
how I missed it.
You're reviewing how I missed it, yeah. Well, I mean, you can't predict those sorts of things. The question was,
Bots says we muted you.
the question is when it started getting crazy, why didn't we take trades
Bots
faster,
says
right?
grinning face with big eyes.
Because I definitely saw it coming quickly, and I was like, oh, but I just kind of sat there until it was like way too far, and then I tried catching the last little bit of it and missed the exit. Whatever.
Gary Rich
Whatever.
says okay, I'll shut up.
Let's see here.
Jerry is awake says one good trade then I saw range bound.
The action in Bitcoin looks incredibly dangerous to me. There might be another move up, but they're like crash imminent. Crash imminent. Okay. Maybe another move up higher, but after that, then it's really like, oh my gosh. You gotta be kidding me, right? Okay, so 33.68. I would like to stick around and see how this resolves itself. If they just kind of come here into the middle of this range and balance out, or what. I can't believe that with such a strong move there that we had, that they didn't yeah. I just can't believe that they had such a strong move and that the market didn't come in and try and take continuation off of that. But no, instead it was just all of the day traders freaked out over the headline, and then it didn't go anywhere. Okay. Trading floor audio. North Korea taking no chances with coronavirus. North Korea trade official shot dead for breaking quarantine and secretly visiting a public bath. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, that's North Korea for you guys. Crazy. And yeah, 10 points in 7 minutes was quite the drop, and now almost all reversed, says John in the chart that he was showing me. It is a crazy move. They might turn back down. I mean, I really feel like that. Well, look, I mean, we're moving again. I don't know. So I kind of see this thing going on.
Skylar Ream says gonna drop now.
Yeah, thank you, Skylar. I'm gonna head out here in 30 seconds, but I just wanted to say that it seemed like that the market really cares about the coronavirus headline, but it's only the short-term traders that care, and I never see the long-term timeframes come in and do stuff. It's so weird. But anyways, it's time for me to go. I will see you guys tomorrow, and in the meantime, stay profitable.